Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Ritual League 3.13. In this episode, I want to go over two budget builds that people can play for under 5x to play Stone Golems and Carrion Golems and to get into them. So I just want to kind of get into them and show them off. So here we have my cool one. This is Witch Elementalist 84 Stone Golem, no awakened gems, no alternate quality gems. So obviously this isn't the best min-maxed endgame build. This isn't to do 100 deli. This isn't the endgame build. This is a budget under 5x. People can play this for very cheap and it'll feel insane. So the most expensive stuff is spent on like the primordial jewels. So an anima stone, a mite, 3 harmonies, and I prioritized cooldown recovery rate. And then we went 2 cooldown points, very cheap. You have to get the dex, so I'll probably take 1 life point here and put it in dex. And yep. So then this is only 84. That's why the life is very low. If we leveled up more and then spent the points into life, you would have a ton more life. Also, obviously, cluster jewels. I don't even have cluster jewels in the build. We are pumping out 1.1 million DPS with an Elementalist. So the main reason why we would do Elementalist here for this build, this budget build, is Stone Golem, Chaos Golem. So the main concept is like our old one. We get the buff effect. We get the 100% elemental ailment immune. Your golems are immune to elemental damage. You get an extra 2 golems. And so then we get pretty high physical damage reduction. This is actually like kind of real. 32% of it is real, and that's not counting flask. So we could go up to 47 with a basalt. And that's flat physical damage reduction against a 15,000 physical hit. That's crazy. So that's really, really good, like the effect of the Stone Golem and Chaos Golem. And then this Chaos Golem's only 20, so you could actually, look, watch the percent, 47. If you got another level, like to 22 on it. So if you had the +1 intelligence skill gems amulet and you had a 21 Chaos Golem, this goes to 22 and you get 52% physical damage reduction. So that's pretty cool. And then so we chose Elementalist for the huge life regen off of the Stone Golem, huge physical damage reduction. You get extra golems, so you have huge DPS when you're a golem build and you've gotten all the golem jewels. And then you get Primal Aegis, which is a really nice shield. So for every notable on the skill tree, you're going to get a shield that automatically recovers. It's kind of like an extra shield. And then the extra shield is automatically protecting you, not needing a cast from damage taken, not needing to cast it like Bone Barrier. This is actually OP. Really like Bastion of Elements. And then Shaper of Storms, if we want a Flame Dash on a boss or something, we can get Shock back in the build. But then for the actual main link, I went Stone Golem, Brutality, Melee, Fizz, Multi-Strike, Minion Damage, Impale. In the build, it only has 73 Impale. If I wanted to improve the Impale, I would change this Impale to Anomalous. You get more damage, you get more Impale. I would change Dread Banner to Divergent Dread Banner. You get more damage, you get more Impale. These cost more. So I have videos on how to get this stuff, but people wanted the budget start. It makes sense. Where do they start? Yes, I'm sorry. Some people are just getting into the build and they need the beginnings. So here you go. Here's a 5x budget build for Stone Golems. And I also have a Carrion Golem Necromancer because it's different, because I don't think it needs to go Elementalist because it doesn't need the buff effect, because it's a Carrion Golem unless you're buffing to boost up like zombies or something else, but we don't really have that yet. So then for auras, I went Flesh and Stone, Vitality, Dread Banner, Generosity, and Pride. This is pretty strong. You probably don't need the Vitality in this one, and you could almost fit Skitterbots, but you just don't have enough mana reserve. So I just put Vitality, and the Vitality is only level 19 to have enough mana. You might even have to lower this even more, like 18 or 17, depending on your level and some of the gear mods. Like some might have extra mana, so it can help you out. This is okay. So this overall, the recap is full stun immune. You have taunt in the build because the Stone Golems automatically taunt. You have really high DPS. You have 1100 regen. You have really high physical damage reduction, elemental res cap with Bastion of Elements. This is only level 84. Some of the next skill points I would do would be tons of life, probably. So the life wheel here, this life, maybe this jewel socket, maybe this jewel socket, a large cluster. Yeah, that's money though, that's currency. I didn't want to go down all that. But for 100% Impale, you'll need Anomalous Impale, Divergent Dread Banner, and then the Rotting Claws, one large cluster with Rotting Claws, Primordial Bond Renewal. I would recommend Primordial Bond because we're the Golem buff effect build, because we're Stone Golem, Chaos Golem. And if you want the build to feel more smooth, you want more like Primordial Harmonies and Eminences, so more jewels will make the build feel stronger. More primordial jewels for more damage. If somehow this isn't enough for you and you just don't care about surviving, hell yeah, softcore PogChamp, good build, tons of DPS, budget, nice. Next one. Oh, quick note, there is no Animate Guardian for the budget. I didn't do it. And then I did 2 Carnage Chieftains, 1 Host Chieftain, and if you get another Spectre by getting the Spectre to level 25, you get another Spectre. How you would do that is a +1 Intelligence Skill Gems Amulet, a +3 Helmet, and a +1, so 21 Spectre, and then that can get you to 25. And same thing with the Zombie. If you get to 25, you get an extra Zombie, but you don't actually, it doesn't matter. This build doesn't actually need non-golems to buff up the damage of the thing, so it doesn't matter. And now we switch to the Necromancer. So I have another build. Let's start from the beginning. Which Necromancer, Carrion Golem, no Awakened Gems, no alternate quality gems, just base stuff, budget build. So under 5x, you have the Primordial Jewels, same skill tree. You're literally just swapped to a Necro. 1.2 million DPS. You're now Carrion Golem. Your Leap Slam is on a 1.73 second cooldown. You have Crazy Clear. You have 585 regen because you don't have Stone Golem. You don't have the physical damage reduction from the Chaos Golem, but you do get a free 10% from Bone Barrier, which is pretty cool. And you have all this minion survivability, so like 82,000 on the Carrion Golem, 74,000 on the Stone. A bigger one to look at is the Zombie socketed in your helmet with minion life 20, has 26,000 in this one, and Necromancer has 42,000. So the Necromancer will be able to push farther even though you're tankier and laughing like because you're big AFK Elementalist. Like Elementalist looks really good, right? It looks great. It has really big damage, good survivability. But then you look at the Necro and you're like, well, the minion survivability is pretty important actually for pushing. And like if your golems in this build, if your golems are immune to elemental damage, what's the point of going all this elemental res for your minions? It's just to cap these Spectres and Zombies, just to get Frenzy and Power Charges. So technically this Zombie could be Animate Guardian after, if you get that. For now it was just for Feeding Frenzy. And then yeah, you can put an Animate Guardian in for that one. And for this one you have to keep the Zombies in the build. And yeah, you have to keep the Zombies in the build though for Carrion Golems. And that's why going Necromancer, and then we don't need the buff effect from the Elementalist, so we go just for the straight up Necromancer buffing up the minions, and then it's just Carrion Golem's a strong minion if you don't even worry about the buff. So then you don't even have to worry about eminences either, where the other one you could put an eminence in the build for some extra golem buff effect. You could put primordial bonds for extra golem buff effect, but all of that is like survivability, life regen, physical damage reduction. It's not really damage, where Necromancer Carrion Golems is definitely the choice for clear DPS and just the AI of this minion. It's literally the Syndicate operative of golems. It's pretty good, and the Leap Slam mobility is nice compared to the rolling of the Stone Golems that feels awkward. So I'd probably recommend going this over that one, because then your Zombies and Spectres are stronger. You're a little bit squishier, a little bit less regen, but the damage for softcore should make up for it. And then, like I said, same thing with the other build. To get 100%, this would be one of the first things I'd want to do in this build, is 100% Impale. So you're only at 73. It's 27% additional, and then that's 27% of 73. It's so much. So like Anomalous Impale, the Divergent Dread Banner, and 1 Rotting Claws. And in this one, I would do Rotting Claws, Vicious Bite, Renewal. I wouldn't do Primordial Bond because you don't need to buff up the Golem buff effect of the Carrion Golem, because the buff effect is physical damage to non-Golem minions, which is like your Zombie and your Spectre. If you want to add an Animate Guardian to the build, it's like a Kingmaker Garb of the Ephemeral, Curse on hit, Glove with vulnerability, and a Helmet with nearby enemies take increased physical damage 9%, and then like Vitario's Flight Boots, and yeah, so you can... Or whatever. You just have to cap the Chaos Res and gives like 27 extra Elemental Res. I have a video on making the Animate Guardian simple, but I just wanted to put out a quick 5x, under 5x budget build for both the Carrion Golems and the Stone Golem, and showing both the Elementalist and the Necromancer, and why you would use different skills. How the Carrion Golem and the Stone Golem are different, both very strong, but different, and then you build them differently, literally entire different ascendancies. And then it goes down that rabbit hole of, you can go into my videos and look at some of the Stone Golem stuff I've done to make them AFK T16 Blight. You can look at my Carrion Golem endgame Aura Stacker. Obviously I can't make a 5x budget build of the Aura Stacker, so it's going to probably be more like a 50x budget guys, but really it's yeah, that's what it's gonna be most likely, and that'll help a lot of people get into the super crazy end game with actually like the minimalist like 50x. So that's not at least we have the beginning, we have the Super League start budget, literally SSF friendly. Now we have the budget of what you could look for to make real strong builds and pump out the fucking deeps in softcore. And then you literally on top of this is just adding all the extra layers of all the shit I've taught over the year of minions. So hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps a lot of people who wanted the budget builds. There you go. There's 2 god tier budget builds. Highly recommend. And like I said, to get more life, level up, more life on the skill tree, I'm not even worried about it. And then in the Elementalist, you could actually go a Brass Dome because you're Elemental Ailment immune. Oh, that's one of the other... So this one, they're both Stun immune, but this one's not Elemental Ailment immune, so you need a Freeze Flask that I didn't do. So wait, let me do that before I forget. Like always, if I remember something, I should do it while I remember instead of forgetting and then it's a mistake. There we go. And yeah, I could technically change this so that the Freeze is more consistent than the Curse, but I like the Curse consistency. And yeah, went for these flasks. I didn't really explain it, but I went for these flasks because, well, with Chaos Res Cap, Forbidden Taste is a dual flask. It's an instant life flask that full heals. There's not another one like it. It's the reason why life is better than CI life flask. And then it's also a Quartz Flask, so it gives you the dodge for attack and spell hits, and it's also the phasing. It's so many things in one, dude. And then, yeah, Basalt with bleed and reduced charges. You could also get increased duration. Basalt with, Granite with gain 1 charge when you're hit. You could also get increased effect and, or increased duration, or gaining 5 charges when you're crit. There's a ton of options. And then I went for immune to freeze, but if you're a Elementalist, I went for the increased armor instead. And then Sulfur Flask instead of Silver Flask this time, so we can make Consecrated Ground to get the extra regen in the early game for our minions, which is nice, since this is a budget build, instead of a Silver Flask, which is kind of memey, 20% move speed, who fucking cares. It's also, this is higher consistency of the Curse immune. And then we have... move speed Quicksilver in both of them. Yeah. So that's what I've done. This is what I've shown. I'm going to leave the POB to both of these in the description below. I think I should do this thing too, where I take the extra agility points so people understand how to get all their stuff capped. I don't know, just in case. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have another video coming. So this is just one. I have 2 videos today. So thank you guys for watching the budget build. I hope this helped. And I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys. So thank you guys for all the support. And thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and the YouTube members today. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!